Christmas should be an exciting time, but for many, the expense of this time of year often overshadows the festivities.
With us now to give you some advice on how to avoid suffering from a financial headache in the new year is financial expert Mike Ransom. Welcome to Channel M today.
Hi.
On the face of it, Mike, it seems to me if you don't spend too much money, you won't get into debt. Is it that straightforward?
It is, but it's not quite as simple, is it? Particularly at Christmas. At Christmas, when you want to buy everything you possibly can for your loved ones and friends, etc. The tendency is to leave it probably too late and then end up spending more than you wanted on the presents in the first place. So I think the kind of the message is, plan and forecast what you're going to spend as much as you possibly can.
So you say plan, but are we 5 weeks? 5 weeks
There's
away?
not an awful lot of time left.
Not an awful lot of time left. So what tips would you give to us now?
I think now just try and set a budget and kind of understand how much you can actually afford to spend. At the moment, there are kind of buy one, get one free offers or buy 3 for the price of 2. Try and utilise those as much as you can.
Doesn't apply to the expensive computer game consoles, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't. But I think in that situation is try and get, if you are going to use credit, try and get interest-free credit or try and defer the payment so you're not actually having to pay for it now, but then plan your payments. So say if you take it over 12 months...
Isn't that where you get the problem, though? If you think you forget about the payment and then 12 months later a payment is suddenly due and you haven't got the money put aside?
You have to get it. You have to plan to get it put aside.
Back to this planning again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Being organised.
So it is. It's about organisation. I mean, a lot of people that we see, the debt advisory line, basically they haven't planned. So they've got themselves into kind of a cyclical issue where they're borrowing. They're borrowing. They can't repay it. So they're going into arrears, and they're just kind of they're just sliding down.
Can I ask your advice on certain cards? Because when you are out and about shopping, the assistants are told to push store cards onto you. Is this something we should go with, or is it just a definite no to all store cards?
I think the temptation, that there will be some legislation that actually bans point-of-sale store cards. So there'll be a 7-day cooling-off period. So you can't, you go into a store at the moment and you'd put everything onto it and you might get 10% discount.
That's the attractive thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. There's always something that's... Yeah, there's an incentive there.
The interest rate's astronomical.
Yeah, absolutely. So people end up borrowing more. They can't repay it at the end of the month. Like any credit or store cards, if you can pay at the end of the month, there are no issues because you're getting interest-free credit for 56 days. But the number of people that can't actually make that payment, so then you get the interest payment, so you end up just paying off the interest, and you'll end up paying that for years in some cases.
What about if you're juggling different debts, Mike? Prioritising of debts is important, isn't it?
Absolutely. You have priority and non-priority debts. Your mortgage, utility bills, any child maintenance, secured loans, they are priority debts, and they have always got to be the ones that you make sure you can pay. Because you could lose your house, you could have your utilities cut off. With your non-priority or your personal debts, so unsecured loans, credit cards, you just need to make sure that there's an affordable payment there.
The minimum.
And if you're paying the minimum, the problem is you're then paying interest and you're accruing it and you're paying them over a long period.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about being organised, which is easy to say, isn't it?
And terribly hard to do. Well, and including your organisation, there is an awful lot of advice out there, isn't there? People can find lots of advice.
They can find advice. If people are struggling, if they do get into a situation, speak to your mortgage lender, speak to your credit card companies, try and make an arrangement with them.
They're not all monsters, are they?
They're not. They're trying to be. They're trying to kind of improve their acts. So speak to them first. Try and arrange kind of payment, holiday deferred payments, and then if you do get struggling, if you are struggling, you can come to the likes of our establishment.
All right. Well, many thanks for your advice there. We've got to move on now.
Okay.
Thanks very much.